Happy Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you to the very first episode of the Manifest Station podcast, the ultimate Manifest Station podcast. I am your host, Sean Robert Grant, and I am so excited to be here with you to basically inject a power surge of energy as it relates to manifestation. And so when we talk about manifestation, most times we want to relate it to the topic of law of attraction, and that's part of it. But we also have to think about how we are consistently manifesting things in our lives. We're manifesting thoughts, we're manifesting emotions, we're manifesting things, people, everything. And so my objective here on this podcast is to allow you to see the power that you have to manifest the things that you desire in your life. Because ultimately, what sense is it living life if you can't live it on your terms? Now, with that being said, I'm not saying that, you have to be selfish and you have to get your way, but you can actually be in a position to set intentions and allow those intentions to manifest in a way that would suit you best. So those are steps to get to that point. With this podcast, I'm not going to limit it to the areas that we could talk about because, I've been fortunate enough to manifest a lot of stuff in my life that I've desired, from the areas of acting, spirituality, fitness, career, relationships, and I've had success with it all. And so I just felt led, I felt driven by a deep divine urge to really put this out here because people need to be aware of what kind of power they're carrying around. And so speaking of power, I just want to get right to it and just let you know you have all the power to manifest all that you desire. Okay? You have all the power to manifest all that you desire. And what I mean by that is that you are a co-creator. You came to this life as a soul having a human experience. When you entered your body, immediately you received the power to co-create with God, to create with the divine expression, which is creating every single moment of the day. Everything that's unfolding outside of you, everything that's unfolding inside of you is a manifestation. Okay? And so what's so great about being a human being is you have the authority to direct that power in any way you see fit. Okay? And that's how the manifestations we desire wind up happening, because we start to get to a point where we become self-aware. We become self-aware that we're actually just a spirit living through this existence, and we're putting out intentions, whether they're consciously or unconsciously, out into the world to allow the things to manifest that we desire. Okay, so stay with me. What I want you to realize is that you come from such a dynamic, divine, expressive, powerful energy that anything that you say you want in your life, you can have. Okay? Anything that you say that you desire in your life, you can have. And that's because as a co-creator, as God himself, which you are, you have the power to make it happen. You have the power to allow it to unfold in a way that caters to your own experience. Okay, there's so much joy, there's so much excitement in knowing that this is who we are and this is what we have access to. So then it becomes a point of just being able to use it. And I'll tell you, here is where you're going to start. You're going to start with your thoughts, and you're going to start with your subconscious thoughts, because subconsciously, everything that is subconsciously going on within our minds is controlling our lives right now. So oftentimes that means that If you're having issues with money, chances are you have a subconscious thought that causes that issue with money. If you have an issue with weight, it's the same deal. You're having an issue with relationships, same deal. Once we can take control of our subconscious, which is our dominant thought, then we can manifest the things that we desire in our lives. Okay? So think about it for a second. Look at your life. What type of pattern has your life taken on? What type of circumstances are you living in now? Because this is a direct reflection of what you've been thinking, what you've been actually taking it a step up, feeling. So we manifest through our emotions, right? We manifest through our emotions, and our emotions become filters for everything that comes through us that life brings back to us, if that makes sense. So let's say you're carrying around emotional turmoil for one of your parents. Your manifestation has to filter through that emotional imprint. Okay, so it's important for us to clear our emotions and clear those unconscious thoughts that don't serve us. And you may be thinking, well, how do I do that? How do I get to that place? Easy. You're going to start by journaling. You're going to start by journaling for 30 minutes every single morning. And all you're going to do is ask yourself, what am I feeling? Because what happens is when you start to feel into the things that could potentially be holding you back, what you find, right, is that there's all types of stuff coming up that you start to consciously remember from your childhood. And you start to really, really get a grasp on what's been holding you back. I'll give you an example here. I grew up with a lot of abandonment, a lot of rejection, a lot of fear in being left out in the cold. Okay. And so I held on to that belief for a very long time. And would you know, it affected every single thing that I did. It affected the way that I could make money. It affected the way that my relationships panned out, the way that I felt about certain things. It caused so much, but it also caused me to feel heavy. I realized my energy was being weighed down by something. And it wasn't until I was able to confront those circumstances, those emotions, was I able to lighten the load on my emotional body, so to speak, okay? And once I confronted and released them, I tell you, I had so much energy. I felt so good inside. I felt so powerful because I had come to a place where I didn't have to carry that anymore. I didn't have to have that be a part of my experience. And then it also didn't have to be a part of my manifesting experience. So this is the objective of this podcast, is to help you to kind of release all that stuff that's been kind of being an impediment and causing you to struggle, to where your slate, your energy field is completely clean and you can start manifesting faster and quicker than you ever could have imagined, because there's nothing standing in your way. So one of the most important things you'll find that is an absolute priority, and priority doesn't even describe, but introspection will be the most important thing to your manifesting existence. Okay? It will be the most important thing, because unless we are dedicated to daily self-discovery, we're not going to be able to confront and release in a healthy way those things that could be potentially holding us back from rising to a higher level. You know, we have to really be open to what our emotions are going to bring us on a daily basis. And so getting back to journaling, when you journal, when you pull out a notebook and a pen and you ask yourself, what am I truly feeling? Because our emotions are they're so sporadic. It's just energy. And there's certain things that we feel, there's certain experiences, like we can have a dream and wake up feeling, off a bit. And so we just kind of get down to that writing and we start writing out, what is it that we're going through? What is it that we're feeling? What is it that is trying to express itself through us? And what we find is when we do that, we wind up feeling so much lighter, so much more at peace. Not necessarily a sense of better, because any emotion that comes in is a good emotion, regardless if it's anger or anything else. But it's just important for you to feel it. And I'll get to this later on in future episodes, but you have to feel your emotions. You have to, because that's connected to your intuition, and your intuition is going to be one of the most important parts to you manifesting whatever it is that you desire, because you've got to feel out into the field what the universe is giving you. Okay. So feel into them. Write down what it is that you're expressing. Sometimes you'll wake up. I've woken up just mad at the world. And I'm like, let me write what's happening. And then all of a sudden a dream starts to come back where I experienced something that made me very extremely angry. And so because I was able to release it, all of a sudden I went into such a lighter, more joyful state. And it was the most amazing experience ever. So for me, journaling is an everyday thing. And I promise you, find the time to do it. All it is 30 minutes. Find the time to do it every single day. And you'll realize that you'll manifest more joy in your life, but you'll also feel lighter because you're not being held down by junk, by baggage, because we all pick up baggage, but it's important for us to leave it behind when we're done feeling it out. And so I heard the greatest thing was this guy, I think his name is Leo, and he does the actualize.org channel on YouTube. And it's amazing because he says, and it's so perfect, he says you want to be a superconductor of your emotions. And what he meant by that is you want to just bear hug them and feel them as much as you possibly can. Feel whatever it is. Cry, get angry, get happy, get sad. Just feel it and then let it go. Just like it would through a plug and a current. Just let it go right after you felt it and move on. This is the most healthy way to approach them, because we've been taught, especially as guys, to kind of shun them away. But when something comes up, feel into it. Feel into it. And then let it go. Okay? That's going to be the first step to manifesting the life that you want, the life that you always wanted. That's just getting rid of the stuff. Getting rid of the stuff that no longer serves you. Okay? So, just to recap, get a journal, 30 minutes a day, commit to it, write, what am I feeling? And just write and just go for it. 30 minutes, set the clock, whatever comes out. Even if you got an affirmation or whatever it is, just write and allow that to express itself, to just come alive. And you'd be so amazed at what comes out of your unconscious mind and helps you to release certain beliefs and certain emotions that have created behaviors that have held you back. Okay? So that's going to be the first step. And that's going to be the first task that we take in this first episode. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining me. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here, to have you with me. And I honestly and truthfully feel like we're going to do some amazing things with this podcast. So I am excited to bring you more episodes. I'm excited that you're tuning in. I'm excited to help you to reach your dream goals, to live your dream life, because that is what you deserve. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.